may surprise some people. We only try to get the better teams out the way and save the bums, but I'm going with the bums. I'm going with the Bears, man.
Okay, I like it.
I can't. I'm not gonna be out here judging the coach of the Bears, Eberflus.
Eberflus.
Yeah, I'm not gonna judge him because this is his first year. But I know he is kind of in over his head this year with this team that he's taken over. A lot of pieces are gone. They got the second-year quarterback who was kind of in and out last year, and then he finally, he became the starter. He became the starter for the most part throughout the rest of the season. But he's going to be kind of in over his head again. Like I said, I'm just not going to judge the coach this year. I'll wait to do that next year.
Yeah. He's a blank slate, yo.
Yeah. It's first year, it's going to be tough for him, but it is his first year, so we'll see what happens there. Obviously, it starts with the quarterback, and they went up in the draft last year to get Fields, and I probably would have done the same thing if it was my team. You didn't really have a quarterback there, and now you end up jumping up some spots, and then you get what you think is your franchise guy, and he possibly still could be. There's still the jury's still out. I'll give quarterbacks. I pretty much give all rookies, but three seasons.
Yeah, which is a fair amount of time. What's that? 30. How many games is that? That's a good amount of time. That's 3 seasons. Perfect.
Play all 17 games in each season. That's 51 games.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that's playing a time. You get around 40, 50 games to me. I think
that's good. That's fair.
Yeah. So I'm still waiting to see what he's going to do in year 2. Last year he had so many struggles getting with his offensive line. His offensive line was horrible. I don't really think they went out and did anything amazing to address the offensive line issues. I know they signed some players, and but I just don't know if that's not going to still be the same outcome for Fields. He's not going to be out there running for his life, I guess. So we'll have to see. I do like Riley Reef. I think he could be a solid lineman for the Bears. It's going to just be interesting to see what those guys that they did sign, Lucas Patrick, Davenport, and Reef, or how you say his name, and Dozier. They also signed Dakota Dozier. So what can those pieces do for this offensive line? It has to be a lot better than it was last year because your quarterback is going to get destroyed back there. So, and that's not something that you want to have your second-year quarterback just getting slaughtered. It's not going to help that they lost or that they traded. Did they trade him or they let him go in free agency? Allen Robinson? I think they let him go in free agency.
Yeah, they let him go to the free agency.
He's now with the Rams. So, I mean, your number one wide receiver is not there anymore. So that clearly doesn't help matters. So he's going to have to rely on Mooney, who I think Mooney was a really good target for Fields last year. He had a decent season. They went out and they also signed N'Keal Harry. Whatever. So, I mean, there's really nobody to throw the ball to besides Mooney. Cole Kmet, maybe. I think there's been high expectations for him since he came out of college. So, you still have to wait for what he can do. Maybe this will be his breakout year. They get David Montgomery back in the backfield. Montgomery is a solid running back. I think he's like middle of the road to me as far as running backs go. They got Khalil Herbert backing him up as well. So Fields might be running for his life again. He's just going to have to make some plays. This situation kind of reminds me of Russell Wilson with his offensive line issues, and he got a young quarterback that has escapability. He's going to have to make something happen with his legs and with his arm, probably on the run at the same time. So it's going to be tough. The defense, obviously, you still have Roquan Smith, and you still have Robert Quinn. You lost Khalil Mack, obviously, this offseason. The secondary is like a who's who to me of players in the secondary. Maybe somebody who will emerge out of this group of starters. Eddie Jackson, there's Jalen Johnson, Jaquan Brisker, Duke Shelley. Like these are not household names or nothing like that. But maybe somebody can emerge out of this group and be a really good player for their secondary. Obviously, though, it's going to start with Quinn and Smith. To me, those are the two best key players on that defensive side, especially now with Khalil Mack not being there. But overall, I think the Bears just in over their head this year. I don't really have any good high expectations for this team. I think last week I picked the Seahawks to go 3-14, and this week I have the Bears basically going the same record, 3-14. Ooh. Only good saving race, I guess, is, well, I would assume you can't really say that because it's not always true, is that they don't need a quarterback next year. But you never know. I mean, they don't really see nothing out of Fields. The coach didn't draft Fields. That they have the coach now that he's there. He didn't draft Fields. I think that they got a new GM, correct?
Yep, Ryan Poles.
So I mean, they have no ties to Fields. So if they are 3-14 or 2-15 next year, and they see CJ Stroud sitting out there and they can make a trade for somebody for Fields, or they see Young from Alabama out there, Bryce Young. I mean, who's to say that Justin Fields won't be throwing passes in, I don't know, New Orleans or
New Orleans or Indianapolis or
New York or somewhere like that.
Who knows? Yeah.
So, it could happen. So I'm not going to say, just because they have Fields and they traded up for him. I mean, it's going to be a bad look for the organization. But as far as this new group of as far as the coach and the new GM, like, they have no ties to this. So,
yeah.
But like I said, I just have them going 3-14. I don't really see too many wins on this. I don't see any wins really. It's rough.
Damn, it's bad. Let me. I do agree with the coach, Matt Uberflus. Uberflus. I gotta give him some time, man. It's his first year. We don't know I don't know what to expect. So we gotta let him play it out. Might be great, might be. We don't know. The NFL is a league that you gotta give coach time. All right, you gotta give him some time. You're gonna know if he's a good coach after. I say give a coach 3 years. You'll know. If you have by the third year, if you don't see improvement, then you just got like, we got to talk about the contract next year. But that's after 3 years. Quarterback, Justin Fields. I liked him in Ohio State. I like him here. I just doesn't have the support system that I want him to. And he doesn't have ties to the GM and the coach. And it's like, I hope the Bears wouldn't do what you just said. I would be like, what are y'all doing? But I would take him. If they get a young quarterback and put him on the trade block, I would take him. I would. As a Commander fan, I would. But that's neither here nor there. I like Justin Fields. I just don't think he has a good support system. The running backs, David Montgomery, like you said, man, and Herbert, I think they're going to be really good. I like David Montgomery. The thing with their previous coach is I used to get on my nerves, was like, feed him the ball. It's nothing wrong with running the ball. I know teams want to air it out, have a dynamic offense, right? But Matt Nagy came from Andy Reid. That's Andy Reid, and you have Patrick Mahomes. Kyle Shanahan runs the ball a lot. Sean McVay does too. As much as people want to say, Sean McVay runs the ball. So, run the ball or establish it. Establish it. And David Montgomery is a good back that you can do it. The receivers, I like Darnell Mooney. I think he's going to be good. He's getting a lot of praise in camp, and I've talked to Bears fans, and they love him. But their rest of the receiving core, they do got St. Brown, who's developing. Mooney and St. Brown. They're developing a relationship with Justin Fields, a rapport. So they're doing really good, but the rest of the receivers are not good, man. They're not good. Pringle, N'Keal Harry, and then all of them are hurt in training camp. All of them. So That's just not good. Cole Kmet, I think, is going to be a good safety valve for Justin Fields. They had a good chemistry last year. They should continue that. Offensive line. I don't know, man. Now they're saying Braxton Jones is at the left tackle. Riley Reeve is at the right tackle. I don't know. But the offensive line is not good. And if you don't have a good offensive line, you're giving you don't have a good offensive line, and you don't have good receivers. You're setting up Justin Fields to fail. It sucks, but Bears fans say that they are not in rebuilding mode. And I'm like, man, y'all are gonna, the offensive line is gonna be better than people think. We'll see. This is the NFL. Because I tell you, that Green Bay defense, and then, all the other teams have edge rushers. Let's just say that. And if you don't have a good offensive line in the NFL, you're going to lose. No. So the defense, the defense, nobody stands out to me. You got Roquan Smith, but once again, he wants a trade, which is a distraction in camp. And this is what happens to bad teams. Like the good teams, it doesn't come out. Players don't be like, oh, I'm trying to, request a trade. You know what they do? They Lamar Jackson or Aaron Donald, they go to work. We'll figure out the money later. Remember what TJ Watt did? He signed it and was like, I'm just trying to play. But those are good quality franchises. So this is another distraction that Roquan Smith is doing, and it's just going to tumble over. Robert Quinn, phenomenal, man. He had a bounce back year. I actually really like Robert Quinn. I think he's a heck of a player, and he's a pro, man. But the other people on the defense don't stand out. I like Eddie Jackson as a free safety, but these players are gonna have to step up and make a name for themselves because it's not looking good. You don't have a receiving core with a rookie quarterback, with a makeshift offensive line, and your defense isn't good. So I don't got them going 3-14, but I got them going 4-13. 4-13, they're gonna be bad. That's it. I know Bears fans like, oh, we're gonna be good. Well, good what? Good how? Good who? Who's gonna be good? You believe in that roster? Man, y'all gonna mess around and have a top pick. And that's why I'm worried. Like, are they gonna get a top pick and see a CJ Stroud and be like, we're gonna draft him? But if they want to trade, if Justin Fields has a decent year, teams will trade for him. Teams will trade. So what I'm gonna do is,
I think teams regardless, because the Panthers traded for Sam Darnold.
Yeah.